Okay, so video number 2, real quick, this is just how to add a post to your blog. So again, if I look at my homepage here, on the right here I have news and updates, or whatever your blog link is. It could be different per website. But this is my blog, and these blog posts are great for search engine optimization. It gives you a lot of keyword density on your website. It lets Google know what your website is about. And my recommendation is that each blog post is laser targeted, right? Maybe I do one blog post on, after school programs in my city. I do another blog post on, tiny tigers, lessons for 4-year-olds in my city, birthday parties, things like that. Anything that you might want to just put up a quick post and blast it out to your social networks or whatever the case is. Any kind of an update that you might want to put out there. This is how you would do that. You would add a blog post, right? So what I'm going to do is log in, and I showed you how to do that in the last video. So I'm going to go over here to my left navigation under Posts, and I'm going to click Add a New Post. That will get me to the area to add a new post. For right now, I'm going to click All Posts so you can see this, just so you can see how that looks. All Posts is just a list of all the posts that you have on your website currently. And you'll see I just have 3 test posts in here just so that we can kind of move around, hack around with them. So this is just sort of a dashboard for you to be able to see your posts. So I'm going to click the Add New button up here, or I can go to the navigation and click Add New there. So I'm just going to click Add New, and this is going to bring me to an editor. And this is the part of the genius behind WordPress and how we have these things set up, is they're relatively user-friendly for a non-technical person to be able to make it look pretty good, right? And I've included in your installation enough graphics and enough little widgets and things like that that make these sites look really professional, look really nice, without you having to be a graphic designer, without you having to do all that. So step number 1 is I'm going to give my post a title. Okay, just says enter title here. So basically I'm just going to fill this form out, so to speak. So under here I'm just going to add a title. And I'm going to search engine optimize this title as best I can. This will give you a lot of SEO points, and we'll discuss this in greater detail in the future. So let's see. Let's say I'm a self-defense school and I'm going to do something that's real kind of like specifically for women. So I might do free self-defense class in Washington, D.C., right? And I'm going to think about that a little bit more. I want this to be free women's self-defense class in Washington, D.C. So you can see I've got a couple of my keywords. I've got women, self-defense, and I have the city name, which is useful. Now you'll also notice that while I was typing, this permalink, this title, becomes the URL of my web page, but basically it's a blog page, right? And I'll show you how that works in just a minute. But for now, just know whatever you type here is the title of the blog post, as in here. It'll be here. But it's also the URL that you'll visit. And I'll show you how that'll update in just a minute here. So just put in your title, make sure it's optimized. And then you just click in here just like you would a Word document and start typing, right? So I'm just gonna grab some fake content here. Let's do this. Okay, I'm just gonna grab some fake content and I'm just gonna paste it in there, just like a Word document, right? And then let's say I wanted to drop a picture in somewhere, right? Now, obviously the formatting is going to be a little, you can mess around with it a little bit, but you can use any of these tools up here, just like Microsoft Word. So let's say I wanted these words to be bolded. Obviously I can just do this and click bold, right? Let's say I wanted this set of words up here. Let me do this. Let's say I wanted this to be more of a title or something like that, right? Well, you can highlight the word and then go to your paragraph, and you have heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, all the way down to heading 6. Those H tags are exactly what Google is looking for, right? When it parses out HTML, it gives higher ranking to more credence to things that are marked with heading 1, slightly less to things that are marked with heading 2, and then finally the things that are marked with paragraph, right? So this site is set up to use all the tags and code and things like that Google really wants to see. So there's some pretty big advantages to how this is constructed, right? So So again, if I want a bullet point list, I can just drop in my bullets here, 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 right? So you get the idea, and then I can turn the bullets off. So you get the idea. You can go in and just kind of make it just like a Word document. And just like Word, let's say I want to add a graphic. So let's say I want that graphic to be over here on the right. So I can just click here where I want it inserted. I click the Add Media button up here, and it's going to bring you to your media library. I can either upload files directly from my desktop, which really all I have to do, by the way, is let me get a file here real quick so I can show you. All you have to do is drag it into that folder. So it's again very user friendly. So let's say I want to put this picture in there. I just drag that picture and drop it. It'll upload that file for me, and it'll give me access to that file from here on out. And here's the rest of the library I have loaded. And then I can just, on the right, it's giving me some attachment options. If for ultimate search engine optimization sake, you would want to put in a really good SEO title. So women self-defense, something like that. You can give it some alternate text. If somebody has their images blocked, this is what it'll show. You could put in a description. You could put in a caption if you wanted a caption. I may do that for now just so you can see it. And then do I want it to align center, right, or left? In this case, I want it to align, let's say, right, just for argument's sake. Do I want it to be a link? In this case, I don't. I just want it to be a picture. And what size do I want it? Medium, full size, thumbnail, whatever, right? So you can just kind of select what you want. Click Insert into Post. And then in a second or two, you'll see that image will load. And it has a nice little frame around it because I put in a caption. So that's how easy it is to add images. Now, I know it looks a little hinky, but don't worry about that for now. We'll get into some design here in just a moment. But so that's how you add content. Now, again, I want to make sure that my content is search engine optimized. I have a lot of keywords in here, things like that. And the next piece of that is if you scroll down, and I'm going to put this up here for you. If you scroll down, you're going to see this WordPress SEO by Yoast. This is a great SEO plugin that helps you optimize each and every page and post for Google, right? Now, it's going to help you along the process. It's going to help you optimize these posts. So the first thing you want to do is put in a focus keyword. And that's going to be the keyword that you're telling Google, hey, this is what this page is about, right? This is what this post is about. And in this case, I'm just going to make it that, make it the title, right? So now I'm telling Google, hey, this page is about free women's self-defense class in Washington, D.C. Then you're going to give it an SEO title. And this SEO title, if you look up here in this snippet preview, this snippet preview is exactly what Google is going to show viewers on Google if they find your page, right? So it's giving you a shortcut. It's showing you what it's going to show them, right? It's a great plugin. It's a great feature. So I'm just gonna paste what I put in there as well. I'm gonna put free women's self-defense class in Washington, D.C. because that's pretty well optimized, right? That's exactly what I want it to be. If somebody types in women's self-defense in Washington, D.C., I want this to come up, right? I want this to be what they find. Now, meta description, you get 156 characters. That's what Google's going to look at and put that description right here, right? So when you're looking at the Google results, that description will be right under here. So I might put that title in there, and I might put free session call 800-929 whatever your number is, 5555 whatever, to request whatever women. You get the idea, right? All that's going to be in the description. So let's see, to speak here, to reserve your space. And again, this is yikes. And again, I have 156 characters to use. Google's going to take the first 156 characters. So you can kind of strategically move this stuff around so that it looks good in your Google description, right? And this is worth just a little bit of focus, right? Now, if you look here under my focus keywords, you're going to see that this plugin is trying to give me some help. It's trying to help me optimize this page, in this case, this post. And you'll see that it says in the article heading, it does see this keyword. In the page title, it does see this keyword. That's why it's yes, and it has a 1 because it sees it once. Page URL, it doesn't see it yet, but it will in a minute. I'll show you that. Content, it says no. So it's telling you, hey, listen, you're telling Google that this is what your page is about, but if I look at the content of the page, these words, it doesn't say those words, right? So Google doesn't like that so much. Google likes to know what your site is about, and it likes to know that you're upfront about it and that you're not trying to, drive traffic to something that's not relevant. It wants its users to find something relevant. So I'm going to suggest that you make sure inside your content you repeat that phrase at least a couple of times, right? And it shouldn't be gibberish. It should be legitimate, right? Legitimate content, but make sure that that content is in there. Now, if you look, after I publish this, you'll see that these will change in just a moment. Okay, so step 1, title. Step 2, content. Step 3, set up your SEO, set up the optimization of the page. Step 4, choose a category. Now, these categories, I usually set up for you some categories that are already relatively well optimized. You can always add new categories, but these categories will also be pulled into the meta description, your meta tags, and used for Google to find. So just pick a category that's keyword dense, that works for you. And in this case, I'm going to click karate lessons for women in Washington, D.C. Also, tags are also pulled into the meta descriptions, depending on how you set up your SEO, but this is all good for now. So I might put in here, self-defense for women, and just click add. And you can add a few tags. You can create as many tags as you like, but it's just another kind of added feature, added piece of optimization. And then featured image. This is kind of cool. You just click your set featured image, and it's going to open your media library again, and you can select a picture. Now, the picture, as you can see, they're wide. They're kind of like this. I think they're like 500 and something pixels by 200 and something pixels. I don't know, something like that. But it'll resize it for you. It'll shrink it down if you have, it'll truncate it if you have a bigger picture in there. But I'm just going to pick this picture as an example, and I'm going to click Set Featured Image. And again, it'll just use that picture as the featured picture. Now, I'm going to go ahead and click Publish. You can also just click Save as a Draft. I'm going to do that for you for a second. I'm going to click Save as a Draft. You can just go straight to Publish. It'll make it public immediately. Or you can click Save Draft, and it'll update everything just like it published it without actually making it go live. And I'll show you what we're coming up with here. If you see that my SEO light turned green here, right, that's a good thing. That's telling me that that SEO plugin, that SEO functionality that we have built into the site is looking at your site and it says, hey, this page looks pretty good. It looks like you've got this set up well. Google's going to know what it's about, and you're kind of following the rules, right? Now, also, if you look here at the permalink, you'll see that it's changed, right? And the way I have these sites set up is the permalink is going to be, the URL is going to be your website / the category you chose over here, karate lessons in Washington, D.C. for women. Then the title, this, right? And that's exactly the way you want these optimized. If you strategically choose your category and your title, this is really going to help you optimize these pages for Google. Then if I look back down here again, if I go back to my focus keyword kind of ratings under here, you'll see that it likes it a lot. Green, green, red page URL, no, it's not being completely accurate there. And then 3 yeses here and 1 yes there, right? So it likes the page. That's why I'm green, right? So it likes what I'm doing. So I'm going to go ahead and click Publish. And then in just a moment, if I go back over to my blog here, give it a second to finish loading. Okay, it's done. Go back to my blog. And here's my page, Free Women Self-Defense Class in Washington, D.C. It's automatically going to truncate this to about 55 characters and then put in your Continue Reading Now button. If I click Continue Reading, if you watch the URL, again, it'll give me that URL I talked about. And then, I've got some share buttons on Facebook and some things like that. So imagine the flexibility you have with this. Let's say you wanted to, create a Hey, we do birthday parties page, or a Hey, here's a tournament you can register for, or whatever. You can just create that blog post quickly, or page, depending on what you want to do, and then just use this URL, send that URL directly to your students, send them directly to your customers, put it directly out on Facebook, all of these types of things. And this is right exactly where they're going to land. Okay, so that's basically blog posting 101. There's a bunch of other stuff we can get to here, a lot of optimization and things like that, but this is a really good start. So this is blog posting 101. Next, we're going to get into pages.